What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. We're going to kind of tackle something that I've never seen before. Never seen anybody do it. Never seen anybody have this problem before. But we're going to tackle the firewall. I don't know the proper name for the piece, but it's where the steering column comes through. As you can see right here, this is a really, really bad problem. A very, very bad one. So, the person that we bought the car from decided it would be a really good idea to put a 94, 95 piece in it. And, well, they did it really shitty. Sorry, but that's the way I'm going to say it. They took and placed it in there and literally siliconed it around so that way whenever we come to look at the car, we wouldn't notice anything about it, so we would buy it. Got it home, stuck my finger in it, wound up literally just peeling it off. It was that bad. So we've kind of cut up another car. As you can see here, this whole piece is missing, but it is sitting over here on the floor. But we are going to do this piece. It is going to be very difficult. It's something that I've never tackled before. Never, like I said, never seen done before. So it's going to be a process. So you're going to have to kind of bear with us on that. Probably going to be a several video kind of thing. But we'll get it done eventually. I'll show you the piece here. We do have a little bit extra material. Actually, a lot of extra material here. You can see it. But this is the main piece that we need. It's all right here. It's where the brake booster goes. Where the steering column comes through. Obviously, the rubber piece is missing here. But over here on the car, you can see every bit of that is missing. Granted, these are some of the holes that are used in it. And there's some other holes here too. I don't remember which ones exactly. I have to go back and look. But anyway, there's some holes here that actually line up on the other piece. But it should be a very simple, very easy process. So, well, I say easy process. It should not going to be an easy process, but it should be relatively simple in the fact that, considering what we've already done, it shouldn't be that difficult. So we're going to get this piece cut up, figure out what we need to do with it, figure out what we need, what we don't need. Like I said, we'll take you guys along for the ride. It is going to be a longer video, I would presume. Probably a several part series to do it. But we will get it done. And you are more than welcome to follow along, watch. Please do, actually. So we're going to get started on that. Okay, back to our firewall issues. Kind of what we're going to do is right in here, you can see we got a little X. We're going to cut this piece out because on our other piece, the way the firewall piece actually sits in, it slides back in here. And the problem with that is whenever they took the other one out, all they did is drill the spot welds out and pretty much cut it out the best they could. So what we're going to do is use that to slide it in. We're also going to use, as you can see up here, we got another alignment hole here we're going to use and slide like a piece of wood in or a bolt or something like that to keep that side aligned. And same over here. If I'm not mistaken, this is where your throttle cable comes through, I do believe. And all the holes should be within about a 1/16 of an inch all the way in all the firewalls and all the cars. And a 1/16 of an inch I'm okay with as far as gap wise, but you know, I'd like it to be a little closer, but you can't get much closer. Also up here, we're gonna cut it, probably come up in through here somewhere and cut up across. As you can see, come up across here and butt weld it inside here. We've got some discs we can use to grind it so you'll never see it. But essentially every bit of this you see here rust-wise is being cut out. We're just going to completely cut it out. It'll be completely gone. We'll never see anything of it. So the main part of today is we're just strategizing, figuring out what we're going to do, trimming that other piece a little bit to kind of roughly figure out what we're going to do. Shit. I'm just going to let it go. I'll figure it out in a minute. We'll cut it out. So anyway, so today we're cutting out that piece. Getting roughly what we need. I'll walk over here so you guys can see what the hell I'm talking about. So this is the piece I'm talking about. As you can see, it is a big piece. We got everything from the frame to everything. Anyway, so we're gonna kind of cut it, probably cut it in here along this and cut it down in here so we have a little bit more meat that we can use. And but yeah, that's today's agenda. We're just gonna cut it out, keep you guys kind of along with us. This may turn into like a 2-day thing. Okay, as you can see, we cut it all out. Most of this Most of this area is cut out. Where this is pretty much as far as we're gonna go at the moment. We will eventually trim up in here. I know the lighting's terrible, but we'll actually cut the bottom side of this pinch weld here and butt weld it in there, like I said previously. But this was mainly just to get what we roughly needed, because the other piece has a lot left on it. It comes all the way down into here in the frame rail and everything, which we won't even touch that. But this is as you can see the preliminary cuts, as you could say, just to kind of get all the crap out of the way, the rust. It gets all the BS out of the way, so we don't have to worry about it in a little bit. And so we can kind of see more so what we're dealing with. We're actually fixing to drill out some spot welds in that piece. Another thing that I didn't know, maybe I'll walk over here and I can show you guys, but this is actually two pieces. I didn't know that until just a second ago. But here, camera work, right here is body schutzed in, and if you follow it all the way around, it does go all the way around. It even crosses underneath this, which is this one we're actually taking out here in just a second. But it goes down through here. But if you look right in the center, this is actually the firewall, and I didn't know that. I thought this was all one piece, kind of like the other one that's sitting over there, the one that come out of the car. But I guess it makes more sense too, because right here you can see there's more, and then here and everything else. There is a lot more metal in that than I initially thought, and that's what I didn't understand with the other one. I don't know if I've shown you guys the other piece or not, but I will just for shits and giggles. This is the other piece that actually come out of the car. The person that had it just had it sitting in here. Had it in there kind of like so. That's pretty much what they had it look like. They just put some silicone on it and put silicone on it and painted it black so I wouldn't notice when I bought the car. Would it have been a deal breaker? I don't know, honestly. And it's not hard to, well, it is going to be a pain to fix. It's not going to be easy by no means. But if they would have just been honest with me to begin with, I probably wouldn't have said anything about it. But it's just very frustrating that you take the time to cover that up instead of just telling me about it. It's not, it's not going to make or break it. Like I said, it's a 1K smoke car. I was going to buy it either way once we found that out. But we're going to keep cracking on this. And like I said, I'll keep you guys updated as we go. Try to throw in some more material as we go. But we'll keep you guys posted after we get this piece dissected just a little bit more. Okay guys, kind of a tip for spot welds. I know they make spot weld cutters, but they're kind of a pain. We use them sometimes, but not as much as we should. This has come like the greatest thing we have found to use so far. By no means am I sponsored by these at all, but we found these on, I think, eBay. Found them on eBay. They're like $6 for a pack of 6 of them versus normally like $35. We found them in a store. But this is what they look like. It's got like a little tip on the end of it. So what it does, it cuts into the center of it, and then once it cuts in the center of it, it's kind of like a pilot hole that allows it to cut through. Granted, if you're not careful, it will go through the other side of the metal. It won't necessarily hurt it. You just gotta be careful what you're doing. But these are the greatest things, and we have the 3/8 ones. We have the greatest, this is the greatest thing as far as drilling these. It makes life so much easier. They're so cheap, and it saves, I don't know how much spot weld cutters are. I assume they're $20, and you gotta sharpen them, once a day after you use them, if you use them all day. But this is just one of the tips that we use. Like I said, I don't know exactly, I guess part number would be that. Yeah, right there it is, if you guys want it. I'll find them and put a link in the description for you guys so we can check them out. If you want some, just go pick them up. But yeah, this is what it looks like underneath. See if I can get you guys in there a little bit better. Yeah, right there. You see it actually, it doesn't make a little divot in it, but it's not too bad. It's real easy once you actually like weld it up or whatever. Just put your little tack in it, it's fine. Yeah, go check those out if you want some. If you're doing this kind of work, it makes life a lot easier. I don't know what they're made for, but they work great. Okay, so we got the piece finally trimmed out. It looks a lot better, way more manageable than that big hunk. Here's what we got now, finally. This is our, not the final piece we're gonna be working with. Still got probably trim a little over here, a little over here, so forth, so on. But progress is progress. We're slowly trimming it out to kind of fit what we need. Once again, this is the size of the hole. It is a little bit big, but nothing that can't be fixed. Actually, if you flip this piece over, hey, the light decided to work. Perfect. This piece right here, we actually are probably gonna wind up cutting off on the car in some sort of a way. Because of the way that it's put in, whenever they did the spot welds here, they didn't ever separate it. So it kind of become a pain. So kind of my thought on it, and I think that's what we're gonna wind up doing, is trimming it off in a way that we can weld them back together. Probably take the spot welds out of it and put them back together. But we'll do that a little bit later. Right now, the main thing is just getting it trimmed up and getting it ready. So we can kind of start seeing what we need and getting it more manageable to lay in. Like I said, we'll figure out more what we need to do here in a little bit. We're just gonna keep at it, and fuck, I don't know what else to say. Do you know anything else to say? Hey. Oh, he says hey. All right, we got an update. We got some progress made. We got the piece sitting right here below me, actually. Oh, pick this damn thing up. Switch hands with the camera. All right, so you got the hole, you got the piece, obviously. It'll sort of slide up in there. Bear with me for just a second. Okay. It's not exact. It's not yet exhaust. But you can kind of get the rough premises of what's going on. These holes. Come here and hold this damn thing. There you go. So you can kind of see these holes are going to wind up being inside of there. That's the actual other piece. And these spot welds are actually this piece over here for the apron. You can see they're both that. And this piece actually is a lot longer. This is just a preliminary cut to get everything set in. This is a lot better shape than it was in a few minutes ago. But you can kind of get the general idea. Mainly what we're going to be using is this for alignment purposes, and then eventually we'll cut it out. But just so that way, the alternative, you're good. The alternative for it is to put the K member in the car and align everything that way. So you really only have two options. And there's probably some way that somebody else can do it or figure it out to do it. Haven't figured that part out yet. Do what? No, we're not professionals by no means. We're not. I don't claim to be. Just hobbyist that wants to save a car. But I've never seen anybody tackle this problem. I've never actually seen this kind of a problem before. So we're gonna keep cracking at that a little bit better. See what happens. Most of it right now is just trimming to get it to sort of fit in there a little bit better. We'll figure that out a little bit further later on. All right, guys, we have made a huge accomplishment finally. I'm very excited, by the way, too. I don't know if you probably could tell, because I figured this was going to take a long time. It's actually, knock on wood, it's going pretty well so far. I'll kind of show you guys what's going on. You can see this hole is actually a ground. There's a ground, I forget what it is exactly, but it grounds something here, and you can always tell because it's green. This hole lines up perfect. This hole is dang near perfect, just a hair off. And I know the factory tolerance is a 1/16 of an inch throughout the whole car, I believe, correct? Yes. Okay, just double check, but I do believe it is. But you can see right here, it is literally against one another all the way around down in here. It's a little tight right here. It's like right up against it, which is kind of a concern. But kind of what we're gonna do, and I think we kind of agreed, we're gonna take it and probably trim it in here somewhere while it's on the car, actually, so that way that the both pieces will be lined up perfectly. And whenever they're in together, essentially what we're gonna do is butt weld it together, so that way the ultimate goal is to never know that it's been changed. Obviously, you guys will know. you know, some people that know the car will know, but you know, for the average Joe that doesn't know anything about it, they'll never know. Granted, this is not one of those things you'll see very often, because you got the brake booster, the master, the pedals, you've got a whole bunch of other stuff sitting there. Then you won't see it. We've got, you know, the other cars you can't tell at all either. But we're gonna trim that and butt weld it together. Like I said, that's gonna be a little bit later. We're gonna trim a little off the top of it, up in here. We're gonna trim some off. Take it probably about a, I don't know, probably about a 1/4 inch of off, because it's actually hitting that pinch weld now. So we need to kind of rotate the piece a little bit to the right, and it should line up just a hair bit better. And once we get all that in, we're gonna study on it. We're gonna leave it alone for the day. We're gonna trim that off and leave it, because you know we want to think on it a little bit to figure out exactly how we're gonna put the piece in. This, like I said, this has gone a lot faster than I expected it to go. But I guess that's what happens whenever you get cracking on something real good, real hard. And I want to get this done. You know, this needs to be done. There's a few other things that need to be done before Foxtoberfest. The car will be sandblasted before Foxtoberfest. This should be in. The trunk should be done. And you know, some people know that already, but we're gonna try to get this done today. That's gonna be pretty much the end of today's video. We'll close it out, be done with it. So just now we'll trim that piece up and we'll be done for the day. We'll pick up back probably Monday, Memorial Day. We'll pick back up, come up here, spend a little bit of time up here, probably getting this piece in. If everything goes according to plan, it may not be done Monday, but it'll be in pretty good. So all we have to do is finish welding it and paint it, essentially, would be the ultimate goal. So as soon as this is done, we can knock out the trunk. Once the trunk's done, it's downhill from there. It's engine bay and a few other little things, and it's done. Like I said, me and him figured this was going to be the biggest pain, the biggest pain of the whole car. Once we figured it out, and knock on wood, so far it's going smooth, very well. Because we're not dealing with rust like the rest of the car. You know, the frame boards is terrible rust, terrible. But you guys have already seen that in the last video. So we'll continue to pick it up Monday. So see you guys later.